Hey, it's the Rican, and today is Friday. So, what I do on Fridays, I touch on a bunch of different stuff, stuff that either happened today or happened during the week that I missed, or, well, I shouldn't say that I missed. I mean, there's so many things that you could talk about, so many stories that fall through the cracks. Um, it's Friday, so, I usually take a little more time, uh, rant on something. So, let's get it started. Um, so let's go here. I just want to talk about how Trump broke the Democrats, and here it's where I'm going to show how Trump broke the Democrats. Because here goes, post millennial. Democrats falsely claim Republicans stole Supreme Court seats, pledged to pack the court to save democracy in train wreck press conference. Now, obviously, like I said, here's the whole thing. When I talk about media bias, now I know that the post millennial is conservative or right leaning media, so you can see from the title, it's obvious. It's not like with the left wing; they pretend to be objective when they're not. Here is we already know where they're going with their narrative. So, with that being said, let me see if I mean what this. I saw the video earlier today. What this guy said. I mean, how he's talking about. He's unpacking the court because Trump packed it. Trump and well, he didn't say. I think he said the GOP and McConnell packed it in with three new people, and it's like, look, listen, I get it. The Republicans pissed you off when they didn't bring up Merrick Garland for a vote. Okay, but here's the thing: here you guys don't even have a full advantage, and you guys are trying. You guys don't have a Philip proof majority in your house, and you're trying to get it. You're trying to get them to pass the filibuster again. Look, you guys didn't learn from what you guys did with the judicial filibuster. You guys wanted to pass. You guys wanted to get rid of the judicial filibuster so bad, and end up screwing you over with Trump winning, and he selected three Supreme Court justices. You want to do it now. I just don't get it. You guys didn't learn your lesson. You guys didn't want those. If you guys didn't end the filibuster, you wouldn't have had those three judges. You would have been able to stop. Let's say, for example, at the very least, you would have been able to stop Amy Coney Barrett. But because you do power plays, it's going to affect you too. Now, let's say, for example, this might come to bite Republicans in the butt too, because let's say you have a Republican president and the Democrats win the Senate. Then again, you might impeach them. Who knows? But no. But and all jokes aside, you guys could block it. It could be a whole year, and you guys could block it because as you guys do not have to. The Senate does not is not the doormat of the president. And so like I said, he just broke them talking about here. Them packing the court is really them unpacking the court. It's like they're broken, they're Orwellian, and I mean, but this is the way the Democrats are going, and this is where it's not only is it dividing our country, but it's also diminishing our strength around the world. And here's where I'm going to show it as an example. Another one from the post millennial. White House press secretary defends Chinese Communist Party talking points about American racism. And this is the whole thing. You have our EU ambassador um, basically saying that our country was founded on white supremacy. Look, listen. Oh my goodness. If we can't agree that, let's say, the principle, the founding fathers may have been flawed people, but their principles are sound, then we don't have a country. That's the whole thing. You, they want power so bad that they're screaming white supremacy for everything. And not only is it destructive here at home, but you see China doesn't believe that. China doesn't believe that. China used to laugh at the woke left. I know there's a funny Chinese name for it, that they used to call them, um, but now they embrace it. They put money into it because why? Because they could destroy a country without firing a shot. All they have to do is go, uh, oh, look what's going on in your country, and so look at, oh, you guys don't have the moral standing to tell us anything. You're talking about, okay, as bad as our country has, as many warts as we have in our country, if you combine the all the people we lost in wars, if you count all the bad things, all the lynchings, all this, we still have not the government has not killed as many people as China has killed. Because you have the Mao's policies killed 50 million Chinese citizens. That's on the low end. It could be as high as 100 million. But we don't have any moral standing. But this is where the woke left takes us. This is the rabbit hole they're going down. It's not only it's just, ugh. And then speaking, of where these people go, it's like, come on, here we go. Um, you have in the heart of this, you have BLM, BLM that, when you look at that, they took out some of the stuff that people were saying were able to call them Marxists because they want to hide behind Black Lives Matter. But when your co-founders are Marxist, and I mean the defense that she said for her house was, what was it? I don't want to paraphrase. I want to hear her quote. Um, where is it here? I think that critique, her critique, she says, I think that the critique is wanting. And I say that because the way I live my life is in direct support to Black people, including my Black family members. For so many Black folks who are able to invest in themselves and their community, they choose to invest in their family. And that's what I have chosen to do. Look, I don't fault her because, look, listen, I knew from high school, my senior year in high school, I wanted to leave New York. I saw the writing in the wall. I saw things were getting better in New York, but I knew that once things get better like that, the cost of living in New York was going to go up, and I was absolutely right. Um, so you don't want to, and I didn't want to live in the ghetto no more. Anyone who knows the Lower East Side in the 70s and the 80s and even still into the early 90s, it was not a great place to grow up. It was not, the drugs, which don't get me, I always talk about the failed drug war, but people who say, look, listen, you want to help clean up a community, I get it. More power to you. But the minute you want to raise a family, you don't want to raise your family in that. And that's why people flee. So you got people, they're trying to build, they want to build affordable multi-family housing units in the suburbs. So basically they want to put PJs in the suburbs. And that's crazy because you got people out here, you got people not too far from New York, you got people who live here who were from New York that they moved out of New York. We don't want PJs over here. We left that stuff behind in New York. We didn't want to live there no more. um, but this is what the type of policy the Democrats are pushing. This stuff. So, like, let's say for example, they also want the universal health care, which, look, I'm fine when you want to expand, benefits. I guess sort of like Bernie Sanders wanted to expand Medicare benefits for glasses and hearing aids and stuff like that for seniors. And I think I have no problem with that. I think that's fine. There's nothing wrong with expanding that coverage to seniors. They've paid into the system. But like I reported on the story not too long ago where there was a Danish couple. They wanted a medicine that the universal health coverage in Denmark wouldn't cover, and they were trying to raise forget how many millions of dollars so that their child could receive the medicine here in the U.S. And here's look. 4.7 million Britons waiting for routine operations, highest number since 2007. Look, I just called to make an appointment today. I need to get new orthotics for my feet. And I have to go. I could have had the appointment on Monday, but I couldn't make it on Monday, so I'm having the appointment on Tuesday. I made an appointment for PT, and my first PT appointment's in 2 weeks. So, our system's not perfect, but you know what? I'd rather have the choice. You're pro-choice. Here's some stuff that you would want to be pro-choice about. You don't want a government monopoly on healthcare because then there is no choice. You have to do what the government tells you to do. You know, which is what they have in China. And here we go. I was gonna. Um, I wanted to point this out here. Hong Kong court hands down jail terms to democracy activists during international criticism. This is what awaits us when you on the left are cheering. Let's say, like I talked about James O'Keefe yesterday, being banned on Twitter. When you're cheering that stuff, this is the stuff you're cheering for too, because this is what's going to come. Because when you're okay with it happening on Twitter, on Facebook, it's going to bleed over into this stuff here. Because I'm pretty sure in China they're not labeling them as pro-democracy people. They're giving maybe they're calling them domestic extremists. Maybe they're calling them that. Think about that. Maybe that's what they're calling them in China. Just putting it out there because we don't see what's going on in other places. We want to just go, oh, things are horrible over here. Oh my God, we're so bad in America. But you want to make us more like China. I don't get it. I do not get it. And speaking of being more like China, Democrats want feds to block Miami Latinos from hearing conservative radio. This is funny. I think this is a funny quote. What better way to reassure Hispanics in South Florida that Democrats are totally not like the regimes they fled than to summon the full power of the federal government against a privately held opposition media outlet? That's crazy. It's like multiple members of the Congressional Hispanic Caucus, including Rep. Ruben Gallego and chair of its political arm, want the FCC to block the sale of Miami Spanish language radio station to a company they believe will move its programming from left wing to a right wing slant. And this is the whole thing. I hope they keep it Spanish because in actuality, this is what we need in the Latino community. We need a conservative, libertarian presence in media. We need a Fox News of Latin America. We need a Telemundo that's right wing, a Univision, something like that, because there is no equivalent channel. We need that. And like I said, so I'm talking about censor. Social media censors New York Post once again. So not only did they, now they censored them for the whole Hunter Biden thing, they closed their account. Now Facebook said its users should not be able to share the New York Post article. And this was about what I was talking about with the BLM co-founder. The fact checkers in Facebook say that that they're I forget, it was like it's a danger to her or something like that. And like I said, that's where that's where all of this, look at all these stuff that they're doing, and um how how authoritarian it is, wanting to block Latinos from hearing right wing news, being okay with censorship online. It's it's gross, and not only is it gross, it's dangerous to our country. Is, like I said, look at these people who are spouting racism all the time. When you see race everywhere, it actually diminishes real racism. That's the sad thing. It diminishes real racism. And where do we go? How can we get you guys to see that? You're not what though. I was talking with a Chinese friend of mine, and we were talking because she's married to a white guy, so she has mixed race kids. So she's what she's worried about is with all this stuff, where all this anti-white stuff, all this, because that's the whole thing. You keep saying white supremacy, but some of your stuff is downright anti-white. And what she's worried about is what's going to end up happening is not every person, and not every white person is going to be like, oh, white guilt, oh, woe is me, I'm gonna take it. No, you're going to have people that are going to be like, f this. I didn't do nothing wrong. And what's going to happen? You're going to push them into in the hands of real white supremacists, of real neo Nazis, real KKK. That's what's going to happen, because if you push hard enough, that's what you know people are going to unite with each other. And it's a dangerous thing, because that then what we're going to end up being Iraq, where we're going to have a section that's conservative, a section that's libertarian, a section that's um, Democrat, a section that's socialist in this country, and then that's how we're going to break up our lines. I mean, no. Look, it's Friday. It's my like I said, I call it my Friday rant, because usually get a little more time to talk. I don't have to rush. I uh, got the kids in their room, uh, and there's no school tomorrow, so I don't have to worry about getting them ready tomorrow. So I'm sure other parents understand what I'm talking about. Well, anyways, I hope you guys liked my show today. Please, you can follow me on YouTube or Rumble, and you could also chat with me on social media. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Parlor, and Gab. Everything's at the right Rican, and yeah, that's it. I hope you guys have a great weekend. And if I'm here doing another video this weekend, that's 'cause something happened. Um, but if not, I said, have a great weekend. I'm out.